Okay, call this regular council meeting, Village of Greenhills, December the 11th, to order. We have a prayer by Maria Walther.
Lord, we ask you to send your spirit of servanthood upon all of us gathered here this evening to do your work for the benefit of all in our community. We ask you to bless our elected appointed officials so they may deliberate with wisdom and act with courage. We want to ask a special prayer at this time of the year for those who are alone in the village, to bring them solace, and those that are very sick, to bring them health. Lord, we ask you to bless us all, that everything that we do here tonight will move us to welcome, will move you to welcome us one day into your kingdom as good and faithful servants. We ask this in the name of our brother Jesus. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we've got the minutes of the regular council meeting, November 20. Oops, wait, we got roll. Who's here?
Mr. Dries is not here this evening, but Mr. Halter. Here. Ms. Hermes.
Here.
Mr. Lee.
Here.
Ms. Metz.
Here.
Ms. Walther.
Here.
And Mayor Moore.
Here. All right. Now we have the...
And Councilmember Dries has an excused absence.
Yes, he does. Mr. Dries is allowed off.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the minutes.
Okay, minutes so approved. All right, this is the time for citizens to address council. No?
Thank you. Moving along in the Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, sir. Right,
Back at you.
okay. All right, reports of village officials, the municipal manager, Yvonne Kovac.
Thank you, Mayor, and I have a lot of things to update you on. First, I did distribute a copy of the November 6th election results. It's a certified copy. In case you ever wonder what it looked like or what the specifics were, I thought you might be interested in getting a copy of that. Couple of things to know. Our leaf collection has been extended through the end of December. I was joking with the service department, there's a good chance we'll still be collecting leaves for Valentine's Day, you know, because there's still so many of them everywhere, you know, and there are a lot of chipping to do in the meantime, and a lot of trees haven't even dropped there, so it's kind of a really crazy, crazy fall, but we will continue picking up leaves as long as we need to pick up leaves, so. Wanted to mention again that Burley Park really took a beating during the ice storm. So again, until the ground freezes, we can't get big equipment back there. Our service workers will be cleaning it up a lot, but we also have a contractor coming in to manicure the trees and take down, you know, a lot of dead limbs and things that are just hanging. Which is why if you hear that we have one or maybe two of the sidewalks taped off, that's why. So we still have to wait for the ground to freeze. Every time we think it's going to happen, we have a 50 or 60 degree day. So anyway, soon. Wanted you to know that. Okay, Rumpke's holiday schedule is going to be in effect this year. So, okay, our regular collection date for both garbage and recycling, if it's your week for recycling, during the week of Christmas,
And New Year's.
And New Year's, yes, will be collected. Christmas will be collected Thursday, December 27th. New Year's will be collected Thursday, January 3rd. So that's
Will you send out
quite different.
one call or some kind of notice to people?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so that's it on Rumpke. Yesterday, we had some repaving work done. Here at the village, the two big potholes going down the driveway have now been fixed, as well as that bizarre hole down on Winton Road, south of Andover, got fixed, and a portion of Springdale Road got fixed. The contractor did call back that he's not satisfied with how that particular one turned out, so they will probably return in the spring to fix it. So, but we were glad to get that stuff done. Oh, the entryway sign easement has the church guy back signed, so we are good to go on that. Send it down to Wooden Lamping for recording. So now all we have to do is wait for the signs to come in, which given their original 6 to 8 week estimate, should be like right after the first of the year sometime. Okay. So that's a good thing. Oh, here was another exciting moment. We got our ODNR money, the $78,000 for the restrooms back from them. I know I was hoping that would happen this year, so it did. Our mowing bid packet is done, and in fact has already gone out and will be advertised. Is the advertisement actually in this week or next week?
It will be on the 19th of December in the
Okay.
Hilltop Press.
Okay. And it's on our website already too.
Okay.
So plus we did some direct mail, and I know there are some of you that may want to get some to some contractors that you know. So let us know if you would like some copies of that. Bids are due back on January 16th,
Okay.
2019. Okay, you probably heard a lot about code enforcement issues at 53 Burley. Know that this is an address where we have spent a lot of time for code enforcement, as well as 55 and 57. In fact, I think it was recently that you passed some assessments for those properties, for garbage, I believe it was. But this particular address has had 3 different tenants in like the past year. All of them have been a little bit challenging in terms of trying to keep garbage collected, things like that. But NIC had posted and sent the certified mail on the 19th, I think it was, of November. It was prior to when I think it was on Facebook. It was prior to that. It was already in process. And, but again, I know we've gone through this a lot of times. We have a required amount of time that we have to wait after that's delivered. And we weren't actually waiting for the green card to come back for the certified, you can track it online now. So as soon as we knew that that was done, we had to wait 5 days, which was December 5th. So we had our contractors lined up to clean up all the garbage, of which there were lots. But as our contractor was there, the landlord's crews pulled up, and they actually ended up cleaning it up. So that was a good thing. And they were actually able to take more junk than we would have been able to, because we would not have been able to take the bikes. And they did take some of the bikes. So anyway, it's a long process there, but one that we will stay on top of. Again, I know it's a situation where you see it, and then you see it the next day, and you see it the next day, and you know, it can be very frustrating, but we have to go through the choice. Through the legal process. And one of the things that NIC would be our choice if we want to, remember what we did for grass cutting to expedite it, you only had to send 1 notice per year?
Yeah.
Okay, we could do the same for garbage. Now that won't be everything that we want to clean up, but it could help us. So we might get that legislation and have that in place for next year to try to expedite some of the garbage cleanups as well. And there is still one inoperable vehicle case being addressed at that property. There were 2, one's gone, there's still another one left. So, any questions on 53? Okay, thank you. We continue to have our local historic district meetings. We've now had 3 with property owners, and I think those are going quite well. In addition, we do eventually plan to put a survey on the website to determine level of interest. And it's just one more source of information for us in addition to the meetings. But I'm personally pleased with the turnout that we're having and the conversations that are taking place. So we still have, I think, about 5 or 6 more to go. But know that those are going well. We have our recreation and service survey. I went ahead and put it live today. So that will continue for 30 days. I am working already on the hard copy. I was guessing I'd have it by next week, but there's a good chance I'll have it this week. It's going a little quicker than I thought it would. So, and we want the hard copy for distribution to match the one online, because then the data can be entered and all the analysis can occur at the same time. So pretty excited to have that underway, and really just to see what this new tool can do for us will be pretty enlightening. An additional item that I want to mention, there's a resolution in your packet for cost of living increases for certain employees. And I want to explain this because we have already on the books, in fact, I think I wrote it on, it's actually in the text of the resolution, that there's two that we have already in place that gave step schedules. One was for, I know the extra one was like the lieutenant and sergeant, the other one was everybody else. So those are in effect and they're due for a 2%, it's not 2%, a step as of the first of the year. But each year we have handled people who have already gone off the schedule in a different way. And so they were being left out, and that was the purpose of this piece of legislation. And those people are Officer Patton, Officer Moore, Brenda Davis, Mike Castor has topped out, Sonny Fales, and Tom Hendricks. Again, this is just hourly who don't have a step. So that was my purpose with that, to make sure they get something January 1st like everybody else, like the other.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember that we missed it at one time, and then we had to bring it up, for Brenda and so forth, that we had not.
Right, she
Okay,
was left
so this
off
is part of
another
that,
one.
what was left over.
Right, it was that same kind
Okay.
of, it's that same kind of scenario.
Okay.
But yeah, they have these folks have topped out.
Okay.
So there's not a step they can go to. Okay, I just wanted to explain that before it came
Okay.
up in front of you. I don't know. Okay. And I think that's all I have.
Great. Okay, Law Director.
Well, I'm Kevin, if I haven't met you before.
Yes.
Thank you for having me here, I appreciate it on Jeff's behalf. He's not having a report.
You look different. I didn't know to what, yeah, maybe that's, everything else was, yeah, okay, that's what it was.
We'll tell Jeff you look better.
Yeah.
Okay, Acting Clerk of Council David Lumsden.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance 2018-09 and resolutions 2018-35 through 2018-41, all passed at the November meeting, were posted as required, as well as the December committee calendar. Thank you.
All right, Chief of Police Neil Furterman.
Thank you, Mayor. As the temperature's cool, it's a good time to get caught up on some training. So November has been a training month for us. Officer Eric Tricase attended a week-long train-the-trainer course titled Scenario-Based Policing Training Instructor, and that was at the Ohio Peace Officers Training Academy in London, and he was there for a full week.
London, Ohio.
London, Ohio?
Ohio. London, Kentucky. London, Ohio. He was there from
Clarification.
November 26th to the 30th. His completion of this course qualifies us to participate in the Scenario Training Equipment Program, STEP, sponsored by OPATA, which includes simulated live lethal and less lethal weapons and all accompanying equipment for free that is used for force-on-force instruction. Also, speaking of for free, along with Lieutenant Ward and Sergeant Lukes, I attended some training on December 6th. It was conducted by nationally recognized police psychologist Dr. Kevin Gilmartin. He's been teaching for years and was a police officer for years before that. And his course was on encouraging emotional survival for law enforcement officers. It was held at the University of Cincinnati Blue Ash campus. It was an all-day seminar, and it taught supervisors how to deal with changes that occur, particularly in this day and age, to officers that include cynicism and distrust factors that impact their work performance and decision-making skills. And finally, Sergeant Tim Lukes will be attending I'm not sure if this is against his will or not, but a PIO, Public Information Officer Academy training in Columbus on January 7th and 8th. Actually, he's indicated he'd like to have some training speaking on behalf of the department. We're very happy for that. We'll talk a little bit about the holidays, and this is the remainder of the report's pretty good news. Holidays are a wonderful time for all of us. It consists of parties, families, and gifts. Now, putting on that police cynical hat, that means that we're going to, for those of us who answer calls for service, that means we're going to have more impaired driving arrests, domestic violence calls, and theft investigations. So we gear up for that, but those would be greatly reduced, anyone who's listening, if they make sure that over the holiday season they have a designated sober driver, drink only in moderation, take some reasonable steps, lock your cars outside in the driveways to protect their gifts or property. Cybercrime is also on the rise, and we have a whole step-by-step, basically an instruction manual on how to protect yourself on your computer on our website. We hope you can stay safe during this very busy time of year and try and make everyone a little happier and in a Christmas spirit. Here we have 3 initiatives that we're going to be doing over the next few weeks. The first is in concert, not in competition with the mayor's judging, but our officers last year indicated that as they were patrolling our village that they made note of all the Christmas lights, and they had a little informal contest among themselves which ones they liked the best. So we decided to continue that for this year. So we'll be giving out gift certificates to 2 residents, one on the east side, one on the west side, for what the officers judged to be the best Christmas decorations. We had a little fun with that last year and intend to continue that. Also this year, we're going to make this unique to Greenhills. We have regionally participated in Shop with a Cop. We're doing it in-house this year, and we worked with the school system to pick out some really needy kids. I'm pleased to report that we have, I think, at least 5 at this juncture, and we'll be taking those kids shopping this Saturday, and we've had officers volunteer to participate in that program, and I'll be there as well. It's going to be a lot of fun to see some smiles. The reports that we have indicate that these kids might not have had much of a Christmas at all without this event, so we're really looking forward to that. Lastly, we came up with a little initiative called Suites for Seniors and Shut-ins, and we met a lot of these folks during the ice storm recently, and we checked on those individuals, and some of them just can't get out, and so since we have 2 very astute bakers on staff between Lieutenant Ward and Bob, we decided that we were going to put together some suites and bag them up and take those around to some of our shut-ins. And lastly, I'd like to conclude by saying that we're excited and pleased to facilitate the presentation of gifts to needy children and families, but none of this would really be possible if it weren't for the tremendous generosity of our residents right here in Greenhills. We can't in good conscience spend tax dollars on this or general fund money, so we have received just in the last month alone $1,475 in donations, all from Greenhills residents, all basically unsolicited. I sent out a solicitation for people to tell us about who was in need. I got more responses from money and donations than I did for those in need. So I think that speaks of the type of community that exists here in Greenhills. So we're very grateful, and actually donations over the past year have exceeded $3,000. So we're very fortunate to have that kind of community spirit here, and we're going to spread it around the holiday season. During the month of November, we investigated 5 accidents. It's down from 6 in the same month last year. 2 crimes, down from 4 last November. 122 other incidents. We had 558 contacts. 275 of those were dispatched or received by phone, and 283 of those were self-initiated by our officers. We provided assistance to the public in 51 instances. We assisted other agencies about a dozen times, made 20 criminal arrests, and 47 traffic arrests. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Any comments or questions?
Yes, Chief, I had an elderly resident call me. I take her garbage cans out, and she had she felt it was a possible young high school student knock on her door very violently and asked to use the restroom. She let her in and discovered after she left she had opened the medicine cabinet and was possibly looking for drugs or something. I had mentioned possibly calling you guys, and I thought it would be a good idea. I don't know if she made that call or not, but I just want to make people aware that, to have someone knocking on the door, and she goes, well, what do I say? You know, they need to use the restroom. It's like, well, you just have to send them elsewhere, especially if you're not in a position to defend yourself or oversee something like that. So I just thought I'd bring it up so that people could be aware that that's happening.
I think that's a very good point, Mr. Halter, and as we just mentioned, the residents of this community are very generous, and it's hard to say no, but if you don't know someone, I think you have to assume the worst, and once they're in your home, they have control of you, and they may have weapons, or they may have other things concealed. And a good answer would be, I'm going to call somebody to help you. Call us. We'll be glad to come out. If they truly need to get to a restroom real quick, we'll get them there. We got blue lights. We'll get them there fast. But that way we can check out and ensure someone's safety. So, yeah, I agree with you. Anybody that's listening, please don't let someone you don't know into your home.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
And of course, the hill country that I grew up in, we would say there are the bushes over there.
Please don't.
All right. Moving on, the mayor's report. The clerk, the court, what am I trying to say?
Yeah, you got off track.
For the month of November.
Mayor's court for the month of October.
October.
Okay, so the state received $433. The Hamilton County received $15, and the Village of Greenhills $2,995.33 for a total of $3,443.33. And it'll get mentioned on the calendar probably also, but we will be going out judging Christmas lights on the 19th, next Wednesday.
Yes.
And so Maria and Natasha will be going. You're going too?
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Okay.
With a little one?
Possibly.
Oh, all right.
Okay. Is
So-
there a way that we can, maybe the 19th itself, or before, the day before, put on one call, at least for those people that are registered, to remind them to turn on the lights? Because last year we passed some very nice adorned houses, but they were not lit up.
Right.
So just a last reminder, like, you know, if you want to be counted in,
Yep.
turn them on.
And we'll be starting out at 6 o'clock, so
Yeah.
some people don't put them on until later too.
Correct, yeah.
But it's dark at 6.
Maybe
All right.
one. It is just
That's it. That's all I have.
41.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, committee reports, finance and audit. Mr. Dries is gone. We'll have Maria.
Well, he's obviously not here, and I will be doing some of the resolutions that he has to be reading. I will be in his place. He announced everything that we were going to be doing already on the last meeting as well. And as we go in each resolution, maybe even the village manager would like to make any kind of comments, although she already made it for the last one.
Okay. All right, Recreation Cable TV.
That's me, that's me too, yeah. I would like to announce that we are going to have some vacancies on the Recreation Commission, and we're going to have some vacancies also in the Waycross representing Greenhills. At this time, if someone is interested, we will be taking applications. The application for the commission, Recreation Commission, is online here. I just got one myself here. The ones for the Waycross will be directly online for Waycross to fill them out. And the decision has to be announced for the month of March. So think about it over the holidays, January and February, and make a run for it, because it's a great opportunity to get involved. Wanted to mention that we had a very great light up of Greenhills. I want kudos for the service department, because it was outstanding. All those lights and the way they decorated, sound of course was the main guest of the occasion. But everybody it was a good time held by all, and I think the idea of having the carriage, the larger carriage that we had on the Harvest Fest, solved a lot of problems, because the smaller carriages limited the amount of people going in. Correct me if you want to add anything. Mr. Lee and I were the ones there kind of like helping people in and out, and Natasha and her husband came afterwards. And we found out that we were able to sit about 12 people there, and sometimes the children on the laps and things like that, and so it went much faster, and they were not, sometimes we encountered a disappointment with the small carriages that it was time to go, and some of the citizens of the Greenhills that were still standing in line and so forth, although we continued the carriage drive, but it took longer. And especially on a night like that, it was kind of frosty, and we had some lamps in there to bring some heat for while we were waiting. So I really want to thank Mr. Dries for coordinating this, Ms. Kovac for putting it together, Mr. Lee for helping me out at that point, and Natasha and her husband to help us at the second hour of that. I would like also to please look at your papers. We're going to put the listing of events put together by the Recreation Commission on the January paper, Greenhills Journal, and you can clip it out and put it on your refrigerator so you know what are the preview of future attractions that were going to be coming. I'd like for everybody to come and participate, and eventually I will ask for volunteers also. I always feel very blessed by the amount of people that come forth to help us out to put these events. I would like to ask you and encourage you to, if you don't want particularly to come here to ask us anything, please come by, put a note, send me an email, give me a name, give me a way to reference, a number or something to call you, because I do want everybody to participate, and I do like to have the volunteers to take a part of putting all the things that we try to do here in the village. Mr. Mayor, this concludes my reports on kind of on both occasions. And tomorrow at 6:30 there is a meeting on Waycross for December, and I will be present on that.
Okay.
It's Wednesday, and I believe it's at 6:30.
I believe the meeting's at 7. There's a holiday dinner beforehand at
Okay.
6:30.
Yeah, my memo said 6:30, so it's at 7. The meeting is at 7.
That's what I'm
Okay.
remembering.
All right,
I think.
That's what my calendar says.
okay. And that concludes my report.
Comments or questions?
I also want to thank everyone who helped out with the Light Up Greenhouse. I believe it was a wonderful success. We had a steady stream at the ornaments, at least the first hour. And then the bonfire was amazing. And I know I was fascinated by the chainsaw and the ice carving, so I know other people were as fascinated as I was.
I just wanted to say that I don't understand how I got into the ornament decorating. I'm the least artistic person that I know, but
But you did point people to show them where they throw their trash, which happened to be the
in the toy donation box. Oh, well, you know.
We had a bigger sign up, Jack. Toys only.
You can't hire good help these days.
Get what you pay for.
Not good help, just free help. I also wanted to mention the toy drive. It was our first year for the toy drive, and again, getting to the generosity of our residents. That was successful. In fact, we've had people still bringing in stuff yesterday and today. So.
Awesome.
We did tell people who came up, it was at the ornament location, they asked, I didn't know about it, can I bring something up? And we're like, please do.
And they are.
So.
Yeah.
It's wonderful, so thank you.
Be sure to, whenever somebody doesn't know about something, tell them to be sure to sign up on the website for the headline news of the village.
Yes.
Okay. Community Development, Jeff Halter.
Yes, just want to announce that on January 3rd at 5:30 is going to be our next community development meeting. And just a brief reminder, one of the best things we can do to develop our community is to respect your property and your neighbor's property. I know that we have this great freedom of expression, but some things fall more into I would call it junk, laying around instead of some kind of sculpture or something like that. I think we do sometimes confuse what freedom is about in our country. And we have to realize we have freedom to a point. If it starts to impose on somebody else, your neighbor, or you're not caring for your property well, that affects property values. It also reflects just your own, personal safety around the home. So please invest in your property for your sake and for your neighbor's sake. That's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. Service and Streets, Tasha?
Well, it's already been mentioned, but the request for bids for landscaping went out, and the survey is up on the Greenhills website, so please go on, fill that out to the best of your ability so we can get some information back. Thank you.
Okay. All right, Safety, Melanie Hermes?
We will meet again after the new year. We'll wait until January to get things, when all of our calendars have settled down a little bit, to get the next meeting scheduled. And again, I want to thank the chief and the police department for doing such a wonderful job with the toy drive and all the other outreach they do with the community. I know I appreciate it, and I'm sure that the residents appreciate it as well.
Okay. Intergovernmental Affairs, Laws and Rules, Jack Lee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Due to the fact that this was a short month, we haven't had a meeting between the last regular council meeting and this. And as far as our January date, due to the Martin Luther King holiday, which would be the normal day right before the council meeting, and getting some work schedules squared away, meeting date will be to be determined. So that's all I have.
Okay. All right, moving on, new business. Ordinance number 2018-10-LNR for first reading.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ordinance 2018-10 LNR, ordinance amending section 121.01 of the Village of Greenhills Codified Ordinances regarding title Rule 12 of the Rules of Council. This is the first reading.
Okay. All right. Next item, Resolution 2018-42-F. Maria?
This is resolution approving the annual permanent appropriations for 2019, a resolution to make permanent appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the Village of Greenhills, the State of Ohio, during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2019, pursuant to Exhibit A, permanent appropriations for 2019 attached hereto, and by reference made a part thereof. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the Village of Greenhills, State of Ohio, Section 1, to provide for the current expenses and other expenditures of the Village of Greenhills during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2019, the following sums be and they are hereby set aside and appropriated as follows, namely, that there be appropriated from the general fund $2,365,905, that there be appropriated from the special revenue funds $1,702,739, that there will be appropriated from the debt bond retirement fund $240,122, that there will be appropriated from the special assessment fund $48,700, and for a grand total of $4,357,466 for all funds. Section 2. And the village finance director is hereby authorized to draw warrants for payment for any of the foregoing appropriations upon receiving proper certificates and vouchers therefore, approved by the Board of Officers authorized by law to approve the same, or an ordinance or resolution of council to make the expenditures provided that no warrants shall be drawn or paid for salaries or wages except to persons employed by authority of and in accordance with law or ordinance. Section 3. And any necessary changes to be made to the appropriations below the legal level of control can be made by the finance director with the approval of the municipal manager. Any changes to the appropriations at or above the legal level of control requires village council approval. And Section 4, this resolution shall take effect immediately upon passage. Mr. Mayor, I move to adopt resolution number 2018-42F.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion?
I just wanted to mention that one thing that's a little bit different about local government funding is our general fund has close to $600,000 transferred out, and then it's counted as an expenditure again in a different department. So there is, even though it's a $4.3 million, 600,000 of that is counted twice. So sometimes I think there's a little bit of confusion about the total number and how much we actually are spending. So
Okay,
it's just a little picadillo.
great. Clerk call the roll.
Mr. Halter?
Aye.
Ms. Hermes?
Aye.
Mr. Lee?
Aye.
Ms. Metz?
Aye.
And Ms. Walker?
Aye.
Okay, Resolution 2018-42F passes. Okay, next resolution, 2018-43F. Mrs. Walther.
Resolution number 2018-43-F, resolution making supplemental appropriations and transfers. Whereas the 2018 annual appropriations that were adopted on December 12th of 2017 are to be amended, and whereas appropriations must not exceed total available resources of the village per Ohio Revised Code Section 5705, period, 36, letter A, 5. Therefore, an amended certificate of estimated resources have been requested from the County Budget Commission. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the Village of Greenhills, Ohio, Section 1. Since certain actions are needed in the monies appropriated so to permit the Village of Greenhills to meet its fiscal obligations for the year 2018, the following items of expenditures are to supplement the appropriations for expenditures for the year 2018. The fund description, we have first supplies and materials, police $1,000, appropriation is $155, the change is $900, and the total is $1,055. Administration, and is $1,000, appropriation is $259,508, the change is $5,000, and the total is $264,508. Finance, $1,000. Appropriation, $151,880. The change is $10,000. The total is $161,880. Section 2, that the following transfer of funds may be made from previously appropriated monies from the general fund, which is $1,000, to the police, which is $2,901, and the amount is $30,000. This resolution, note Section 3, shall take effect and be in full force from and after the earliest date allowed by law. And at this point, Mr. Mayor, I would move to adopt the resolution number 2018-43-F.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All right, hearing none, clerk call the roll.
Mr. Halter?
Aye.
Ms. Hermes?
Aye.
Mr. Lee?
Aye.
Ms. Metz?
Aye.
And Ms. Walker?
Aye.
Okay, resolution 2018-43 passes. Next resolution, resolution 2018-44-F. Ms. Walther.
Resolution number 2018-44-F is a resolution authorizing a cost of living adjustment for employees not covered by a step increase schedule. Now therefore be it resolved that, Section 1, pursuant to Resolution 2016-15-F and Resolution 2017-16-F, most village employees will receive a step increase in salary effective January the 1st, 2019. And Section 2, employees not covered by these step schedules for reason of having reached the top step shall receive a 2% cost of living adjustment as of January the 1st of 2019. And Mr. Mayor, I move to adopt the resolution.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, clerk call the roll.
Mr. Halter?
Aye.
Ms. Hermes?
Aye.
Mr. Lee?
Aye.
Ms. Metz?
Aye.
Ms. Walker?
Aye.
Okay, resolution number 2018-44-F passes. Okay. We have calendar.
The village offices will be closed on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day.
The next Streets and Services meeting is January 22nd at 9 a.m.
Community Development, January 3rd at 5:30 PM.
Turn on your Christmas lights on Wednesday, December 19th by 6 PM so we can judge them.
And have a Merry Christmas on the 25th.
Yeah.
Oh, and also your garbage and recycling for Christmas week and New Year's week will be on Thursday.
December 27th, right, for Christmas.
It would be the
January
pickup, yeah.
3rd.
Yes,
Yes.
correct.
And at this time, Mr. Mayor, I would like to make a motion to amend the agenda to add an executive session at the end of this meeting to discuss the compensation of public employees.
Second.
Clerk call the roll.
Mr. Halter?
Aye.
Ms. Hermes?
Aye.
Mr. Lee?
Aye.
Ms. Metz?
Aye.
And Ms. Walsh?
Aye.
Okay. Be going into
And there will
exec.
be no addition after the executive session, that we will not come back out. And there's no decision to be made.
Well, we will come back out, but we will not be making
Yes.
any,
There'll be no action.
there'll be no action
There will be
taken.
no action taken, yes.
Okay.